Record. Welcome, everyone. So glad to have you here. My name is Casey Trujillo, and I will be your host for today's webinar. So what we're doing, we thought this would be something cool, is a lot of you see posts on Facebook, and you see all these different transformations, all these stories, and we thought, gosh, a lot of people don't know that there's actual opportunity to explore coaching, to be just like these people that are posting and say, hey, look at the good that's taking place, and gosh, that's of interest to me to maybe see what the day in the life of an Optavia coach looks like. So I am joined today by Sara Judkins. Sara, thank you for joining me. And Sara, before you were an Optavia coach, give us a little background about what you were doing before.
I have been in the health industry for about 18 years, and I have been a personal trainer and also taught group fitness classes for the duration of that. I also am certified in nutrition, and so I was doing meal plans and nutrition plans for people over the years.
Okay.
I have a science background, and I'm an occasional dental hygienist, but I've gone the nutrition route.
All right, you've been doing that for 18 years. Why Optavia? I mean, did you just hear about, hey, this new opportunity to coach, or did you actually become like utilize this healthy habits? Like, what was your first introduction?
I was actually at a family outing, and I saw my cousin and her husband who looked really good, and I don't see them too often. And I said to her, I said, "Tell me what you're doing." And she said, "Oh, we're just watching what we eat." And I thought to myself, yeah, well, everyone's watching what they eat, right? Everybody wants change. And it was small talk. And then I saw her and her husband a month later, and there was massive changes to their muscle. And so I said, you got to sit down. I got to hear what you're doing. So she told me that she was on a plan that just took all the guesswork out of her nutrition, and it stabilized her blood sugars and her insulin levels, and it just burned fat for fuel. And it sounded too good to be true, when she told me about it. And I thought, I'm going to look into this and read about this. So I took some time, I read about it, and I thought, I'm just going to, at this point where I was just exercising my heart out and doing semi on my nutrition, I thought, I'm going to give this a shot, because it was so supported by the research and where it came from.
So what were some of your results? And again, just so everyone's aware that obviously results vary by individual, but for you, Sara, what were some of your results?
I was on the plan for not quite 3 months. And initially it was like, oh, if I could lose 15 or 20 pounds, that would be awesome. Because I was thinking at the time, this would just really, if I could get my weight down, that would make me feel really great. And so it was under 3 months. I ended up losing about 32 pounds, and I had taken an in-body test initially, and most of that weight was fat, which it measures your body fat mass, your skeletal muscle mass, your body fat percent, your BMI. And I mean, it drastically dropped my body fat percent. And I ended up not losing muscle. I gained muscle, and I gained about 4.8 pounds of muscle. And I was working out much less, because I just had a mindset for so long that I would just have to work harder in the gym, if I messed up. But I didn't realize at the time what that would do to my whole being. So that's how that started. So my results were like, I mean, it floored me. And every week it was the small changes. It was just the consistency, and just sticking with it. And I remember my coach said, if you stick with the plan, it works. If you modify the plan, you will modify your results. And I was determined. I was just at a point in my life, I turned 40, and everyone said to me, oh yeah, it's going downhill. Your metabolism is going to slow down. You're not going to be able to lose weight. And I just didn't believe it. I knew that if you lined up your nutrition, that we could go years and years and years beyond that mindset, right? That mindset that people
Yeah.
think it's over when you're 40, or it starts to go downhill when you're 40. So it
Well,
worked.
you definitely proved that wrong. So you had this wonderful success, but you still had a comfortable profession that you knew for 18 years. Why change? Why become a certified Optavia coach? Like, what was in it for you to make that change?
Honestly, it was very frustrating doing meal plans for people because it was so time consuming, and macro counting for people it's very overwhelming, and it's difficult, and it's up and it's down, and finding the exact fit for everyone is different in macro counting,
Mm,
or watching, eating. I mean, there's several different plans out there that
yeah.
I was doing different plans, and I was spending so much time on it. So when this came along, and I knew all the science was done. I mean, it was created by doctors, and it's been studied and continues to be studied at Johns Hopkins and the National Institute of Health. It took all the guesswork out of it because it was supported by that science. And it's simple, it's brainless. Everything is done for you. I mean, and when you're doing it, you're not only getting your macros balanced, which you don't have to do or think about or write down or track, but you're getting 100% of your vitamins and minerals, all your fiber, all your probiotics. There's nothing artificial. I mean, it was seriously heaven sent for me, truly. But
So
I mean, really, like, there are 100 different ways to lose weight, right?
yeah.
But the part that came in for me that was so magical, truly, that sounds a little dramatic on the word, but it was that it was changing my relationship with food. And I removed myself through the education of the guilt and the
Mm,
self-sabotaging, and I had this emotional relationship with food that I
mm.
don't have anymore. Continue to work on, of course, but it was pretty awesome.
So as I'm hearing your story, what I'm understanding is as you were working with your clientele, you're creating these plans for them. You're trying to help them follow it. You're explaining how to meal prep. You're asking them and giving emotional support to them. And now you found a plan that was repeatable for everyone. You also are able to plug into a community of individuals for your clients to be supported in, and you as a health coach to be supported in. And then you talked a little bit about your results of burning fat, not muscle. What do you think has been the biggest time saver for you now in being a health coach, in actually saving you time, but delivering the results to the people that you care about most and your clients that trust you? Talk to us a little bit about that time savings of what's come about in this program.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one of the beauties about the program really is you get to help people. And that is something I've always loved. Helping people and watch people change their whole lifestyle, and that flows into every area of their life. It affects their family, their relationships. I mean, when you feel unconquerable, yourself, that of course is going to just flow into other people's lives. And just back up into the community a little bit, because that was a really key thing for me. Initially, I was, pardon that. Um, I truly was I had an ego. I really did. I thought, I do not need to tap into support. I don't need a community. I don't need my name out there. And that ended up being very, very magical for me as well. Like, I couldn't believe how awesome it felt to be supported, to be on the same journey with other people, doing the same thing I was doing, trying to figure it all out, but then getting ideas, getting motivation, just having a support network of people was it's very effective to have that around you and be supported by others who understand, who know, and who want the same thing, right?
Mm,
So that was really key for me. And then as far as my results went, I mean, I it's funny when I started living that life and the results were coming and I was losing fat and burning fat, other people just started asking me just how I started my health journey. Like, what are you
Right.
doing? You like, you have really changed a lot. So it was easy to talk about it. And then others have wanted to share that with their family and friends, and it wasn't that I had to do anything. Honestly, I just had to live the healthy life I was living, and other people wanted that too. And then their people, their village wants that too. Everybody, wants health together, and it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome that ripple effect on you help others, then those people help their people, and we just all stay connected to help each other. So it's all done. I mean, it's pretty great.
Fantastic. Sara, thank you for joining us. We hope this has been helpful for you that have joined here today, learning a little bit more about health coaching, what it's like, especially coming from someone with your background. Sara, just last question, and we got to end. What do you think would be the number one characteristic of someone that wants to be a health coach? Maybe they don't have your background. Maybe they've never done this. Is that needed to become a health coach in this program? Or what would you say would be that number
Oh,
one characteristic you need?
you know what? If you, I think you just have to have a passion to help people.
Hmm.
I really do. I feel like people ask me all the time, well, I don't know if I could do this with my family and my friends because I don't have a background like you.
Hmm.
And you don't need it. It's all, you have such a support group and it's all replicatable. You don't need to have any background at all. And there is so many benefits of being able to coach because number one, you're helping people. Like I truly I have a passion for helping people feel better and to help them understand how to love themselves, right? And that just flows. That just flows, like I said before, into other people's lives. So that's all you need. I feel like if you can live a healthy life and be an example, and you want to help others be healthy too and feel as great as you, that's it. That's all. That's the background you need. You
That's
definitely don't need, we have enough out there to help each other, and I get
good.
help and advice from people who are nothing like me, but
Mhm.
because of experience and passion for helping others, they help me a ton.
I couldn't agree more. And again, for those that have attended, please reach out to the person that invited to you, your Optavia Health Coach, in exploring this. Just go see what the day in the life of a health coach is like. See a little bit more about how repeatable and scalable this program is. And again, it is creating one simple healthy habit at a time, and just helping us become healthy, not just in our weight, but in our mind, in our relationship to food, in our relationship with our family, just like Sara said so well. So again, we invite you, reach out to your health coach, learn more about this wonderful profession of being an Optavia health coach. Sara, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.